Hey guys, this is Ed from Mission Ed Possible, and today we're going to be showing the rarest game for the Atari 2600, and that is called Air Raid. So let's get into it. Air Raid is, it even says here, Air Raid is considered to be the rarest game released for the Atari 2600. Okay, so this game, I'm not sure if it was like a mail order thing or what, but the game was insanely rare. And it actually had a special look to it. It had a handle on it. It was blue. It was very different than all the other cartridges. And they actually, it was so rare that there was only a certain amount known to exist. And I think that number was, I know it was like under 30, but it was something very, very, very low. And there was only one boxed copy known to exist. And the box right here is from that, that auction that, when someone sold it. I believe that auction went for $130,000, something like that. So it was kind of a big deal. But the cartridge itself still goes for a lot, and several $1,000s, in fact. Now, I was lucky enough to actually come in contact with one of these cartridges, the real cartridge, and it was kind of a funny story. My wife and I we were selling games on, Atari 2600 games on eBay, and unfortunately, a lot of people, they hear numbers about, all these games are worth so much money, and it's like, not really. The average game price is probably $1, if that. So there's like a handful of games that are worth a lot of money. The rest of them, most of them are not worth much. I was trying to sell them like $5 for $5 kind of thing, and it wasn't doing well. In any case, my wife happened to be on Facebook, and she was on one of those buy and sell things on Facebook for our local community. And she just hollered, she said, "Hey, someone's selling Atari 2600 and some games. You want it?" And it was kind of a joke because we were just going through all these games and going, these aren't worth anything. Why are we doing this? Why are we wasting our time, And it's just like, I don't want to like throw them away, but it wasn't really worth hardly the shipping, right? So we're like, okay, let me come in here and look. And I went and looked at the screen, and they had a good picture of all the machine and all the games. They had like 30 games or something. And they said on there that they didn't have the power adapter, so they didn't want to sell it. They wanted to sell it on eBay, or someone told them, you should sell that on eBay. You can make a bunch of money, And they're like, oh, but we don't have the power adapter, so we can't test it and all this stuff. And so that was the kind of the text on the thing. And my wife showed me the picture, and I looked for about 5 seconds, and I happened to see the Air Raid cartridge. It's very unique. It's blue, and it has the handle, like I was saying. And I'm telling her, buy it. Say you want it. Yes, now. And she didn't understand what I was saying. It's like, oh, well, I'll do it. And I'm like, no, now. I was like emphatic about it, because I'm like, they don't know what they have. They were selling it for $30, the whole lot. And I'm like, we need this now. You don't understand. Just do it. Tell them you want it now. Get the first person in there to say, because usually it's first come, first serve, right? And I'm like, I'll tell you in a minute. Just tell them you want it right now. And she's like, okay. And she goes on there and tells them, okay, yeah, I'll take it. And then they were like hemming and hawing about like, oh, well, yeah, is it okay if we deliver to you maybe next week or something? And we're like, and people kept like bumping the post, and we're like, just don't say anything, just because all it takes is someone going, by the way, that cartridge right there is worth $3,000. You probably don't want to sell the whole lot for $30. And I'm like, I'm just like freaking out. I was a wreck for like this week it took for them to deliver the product. I'm like going, can we just go pick it up like right now, like now? And finally it happened. they brought it over, and I was like, of course you don't want to like act too eager and be like, I'm looking at it going, oh, okay, cool. I didn't even look at the cartridge because I'm just like, okay. And part of me, like a little part of me, wanted to say, well, you take 25. I'm like, here, $30, no problem. And then I remember they left. As soon as I shut the door, I just about had a heart attack because I'm like, I have this in my possession, and I'm just like holding it up like the Holy Grail kind of thing, and I'm like, it's the thing, and it's in amazing shape. There's the label's like perfect on it, and it's just like I can't believe it. I can't believe that's actually the thing. And so what I promptly did, I put it in a protective bag. I put silica in it, and I put it in my safe, and I didn't touch it for a year. I just put it in there, and I'm like going, I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm just not even gonna worry about it and whatever. So I just put it in my safe. So then about a year went by, and I was getting really into pinball at this point. And I was like going, I could sell that air raid cartridge, because all it takes is for people to find like a bunch of these air raids or something, and the price of them will drop through the floor. So I'm like, I should probably consider selling it. And so I put it up on eBay, and it was funny. I got so many like hater comments of going, you'll never get that much money. Cause I put I didn't put a reserve. I just put like a starting bid, or no, I didn't even put a bid. I put a buy it now for like $3,500. And people were like, you'll never get that much money. And it's not worth that much money. Like all these guys, these naysayer kind of people. And I was like, just ignore the haters. I got comments every day about it. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. It's like, if it doesn't sell, I'll lower the price. That's the way I kind of do business on eBay. I don't usually like doing auctions. I just go, this is what it's worth. You don't want to pay it, then I'll drop the price, and then eventually it'll sell. So anyway, this, it goes by. It took probably, a couple weeks to sell, but a guy in some foreign country, I think it was Germany or something, he didn't have a whole lot of feedback, but he just bought it now and did a PayPal thing right then. And all he did was a comment and said, can you please make sure that it's packaged well? I'm like, yeah. And so I ended up packaging it, and like I had this acrylic box that I put in, because I didn't want like it to be crushed or anything. I sent it FedEx. I did all of the things. I spent probably a good $100 to $150 packaging this thing, because I did not want it to get destroyed. And then, it's like the thought in my head of me shipping this thing, insurance and all that stuff. It's just like, oh my God. And so I sent it off, and then I'm like waiting for him to give me the positive feedback. Because once you give the positive feedback, you're good, right? And I'm just sitting there. It took a while. He gave me positive feedback, and he's like, yeah, great seller, blah, 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 would buy again, or something like that. It's just like a generic one, nothing special. And I'm like, oh my God. But what was funny is after it sold, the same guys, that same haters that were like, oh, you'll never sell it, blah, blah, blah. They were like, oh, I would have paid that much. You should have sold it to me, and like all this crap. And I'm like going, oh, just screw off, man. I was just like, ignore the haters. But it's nothing special. It was made by this company, Menavision, which is like, it was a one hit, not even one hit, one game. So, it's pretty lame. The graphics aren't great in it. It's nothing special. I remember I played it put it on a TV so that I could record it for the auction, just so it's like, yep, it works, everything is good, yada yada. And I was just like, yeah, here's a game. This is what it is. It's nothing special, and a lot of people, I played that. It's like, no, probably not. Especially since it's so rare. And that's the thing. That's the only reason why it's worth the money. It has nothing to do with how good the game is. It just has to do with the rarity.
Hope you liked the video. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more of this content, be sure to click on this playlist up here. As always, see you in the next adventure.